Hello again everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would make quite a simple video just showcasing the jungle corner in my room. It's just a collection of freshwater based habitats, each with their own little inhabitants, and each of them is going really well at the moment, so I thought I'd showcase them for you guys today on this channel and sort of go through a few of the thoughts that were going through my head as I was setting each of these up. So we'll start from the left and we'll go through the main 4 setups today, which is the paludarium style setup to the left, the overgrown jungle style aquarium, my pea puffer setup, and then the drip wall terrarium, which I've showcased recently on the channel, but that's doing really well, so I'll give a little quick update on that as well. So starting from the paludarium, this is the first paludarium that I've ever actually tried to make. You can see what I've done here is put 2 pieces of dragonstone to hold back the bank area, and that provides a planting area. I've got some peace lilies, a star plant, various ferns and mosses growing from back there, and it provides a really nice shaded area at the back of the scape, which sort of concentrates the eye on the water feature and this beautiful root scape which is coming down. I did design it based on the sort of root scape that I was going to go for. I wanted it to look like a jungly root system at the edge of a riverbank, and I think we've really achieved that look. The piece of wood which I collected just from the forest near my house also serves a really good job of shading out the back area as well as hiding this wire which is coming across there. There's 3 endless guppies in here. They got on really well with each other, and they are more of a nano fish which suit this sort of shallower setup, and they seem to be really enjoying life in here. They're in there with a nerite snail which goes around and cleans the glass, and some cherry shrimp. I have a nerite snail and cherry shrimp in each of my tanks. They're really good for cleaning the glass, as this one is doing in here right now, and just decomposing any uneaten food, any foliage which is decaying in the tanks. Really good for just keeping the natural cycle going. And I try and set up each of my tanks in an ecosystem way where nutrients is revolved around the tank. You can see in this paludarium style one, the emerged plant growth will be sucking all of those nutrients out of the water, with the root system growing in the back area, also providing loads of surface area for beneficial bacteria. Moving on to my oldest tank. This was set up maybe 3 years ago. It's a betta fish aquarium. I've got a solo betta in here. He's over here. And I have 3 pygmy corydoras. You can see one of them just in the foreground there, as well as some cherry shrimp and the nerite snails. He doesn't seem to be too aggressive, this betta fish. He gets on really well with the cherry shrimp and the corydoras. I imagine he does pick off a few of the smaller cherry shrimp, but there are multiple generations. These are the cherry shrimp which I use to source my other tanks as well, so we have a really good strong colony going in here. As you can see, the jungle vallisneria and the dwarf sagittarius at the front is growing really well in this nutrient rich substrate, as well as those cryptocoryne which is doing really well on that right hand side. Really pleased with how this setup turned out. It's probably my favourite out of the 3. It's the most jungle looking. I just love a fully green setup like this, basically an explosion of green. It's the most natural in my opinion. Very unkept look, very natural, really jungly, and I'm loving how that's doing at the moment. Great for bettas as well. They love sort of wedging themselves in loads of plant matter. So yeah. Moving on to the pygmy corydoras, or not pygmy corydoras, sorry, pygmy pufferfish, or pea puffer. Bit of a newer setup, so it's not as balanced, this one. The glass, for example, needs to be given a wipe, but I am just letting my smaller nerite in here sort of farm the glass areas. I think this sort of clarity is acceptable and just provides him with a little bit of algae and food, and I'm sure over time he will keep up with this sort of algae growth and it will become a balanced setup like this one has on the left. Very rarely have to do anything with the glass on that. You can see he kind of goes around farming that algae really efficiently, keeping everything clean. So I really like my pygmy pufferfish. It's got lots of personality. So you can see he really recognises when you're here at the tank. It's really good fun feeding him. And his tank is just starting to grow in and will become just as green as the one to the left. It's just a lot younger. Maybe been set up for 6 months now. And I went with not a complete nutrient rich substrate layer, but a capping of sand over some fluorite stratum, and that seems to be providing a decent amount of nutrients to the plants. You can see this dwarf sage in the front is starting to carpet and send runners, and some of the Anubias has died off, but some is doing really well. So yeah, this tank is still very much in progression, very much not finished, and we'll see how it goes. Final tank I just want to showcase has no inhabitants, but it is the drip ball terrarium. Recently made a video about this. It's doing really well. You can see the ferns and a lot of the moss is thriving in here. I had the left hand piece of ivy die off, but the right hand one did much better and is sustained in there, and this is doing really well. All that I need to do with this one with no inhabitants is just top it up every now and again, make sure that water level is kept and that the reservoir is full. And yeah, that does really well. So that's basically everything there is to see with the main setups in the jungle corner. I do have some plants going from a peace lily here, we have a ficus there, type of monstera or cheese plant, and a bonsai tree. That just helps to sort of soften the look over the whole tanks, blends it all in together and gives you that really nice sort of jungly look that I was going for with this corner. So yeah, that was just a quick overview of these setups which I've got going. I can go into more detail in any of them. If you'd like to see that video, just let me know in the comments. Thank you guys for watching this one today, and have a good one.